R.A. Berman, president of Yeshiva University right here in Manhattan. Dr. Berman, first of all, thanks for joining us here on such a heavy day. We appreciate your perspective because, from my understanding, you were in Israel on October 7th, 1 year ago. You also have a son as an Israeli reservist, so you're personally impacted by all of this. If you would, sir, please describe your experience 1 year ago and how that's really changed your perspective on the whole situation.
Well, thank you so much, Mike, Charlene, and Danny, for having me. A year ago, I was in Jerusalem, and we heard the air raid sirens go off. One time, two times, three times, we knew Jerusalem was under attack. I was with my son. Someone told him he should go and find his phone. He went back to the apartment, found his phone, and he was called up to service. I sent my son off to war. This was one of the most painful experiences of my life that was replicated by so many parents all across Israel, hundreds of thousands of soldiers who went off to battle. Thank God my son is alive. Thank God he has all of his limbs. Sadly, that is not the case for friends and people we know. I have to say that, after 2 tours of duty, I've gone through periods where, I've been an absolute terror, but I've also never been more proud. More proud of him, more proud of the Israeli soldiers, our brothers and sisters who are sacrificing themselves to ensure the protection of the Jewish state. And these are all part of the feelings of October 7th.
And I'm sure also you're wanting to feel a sense of peace here and comfort here as well. And that's something that your university could potentially provide. I went to a private religious university, and I know how great that was for me, feeling like I was in a safe space. Mm-hmm. We hear that I have 53% increase in enrollment for you. How has your university seen this influx of students?
Yeah, it's a great point, because there's no doubt we have been a place of safety and security, and also a place that nourishes people's Jewish identity. Mm-hmm. Our undergraduate, we have over 3,000 students who are here proudly Zionist and comfortable, and know that when they're at Yeshiva University, they're not playing defense. They actually can be going out and developing themselves academically, intellectually, and professionally, and standing for their values. And that's what we do. Our students go out in the world, stand for our values, and go out with pride as Jews and as Zionists and people who work to sanctify God's name in the world. And that has certainly been a seat where we've been able to play during this time. I'll also add, because we have thousands of diverse graduate students who are amazing, and they're ambassadors of our values. And everyone who studies at Yeshiva University works to be leaders who will make a difference in our society. And this is a moment that we need them. It's an inflection point in America. We need these students. We need to educate the next generation to go out in the world and spread goodness and peace. And that's what I've seen, and that's what's been, for me, the greatest source of confidence in our future.
I'm so glad you touched on the diversity factor. My husband's grandmother, an African-American woman, graduated with her master's from Yeshiva University a very long time ago, and it continues to be a very diverse place as well. But how do you balance that inclusivity? Because you talked about the Zionism factor, but what about the other people who may have, perhaps, other political views at your school?
Sure. One of our core values is Torat Adam. We respect the infinite worth of each individual. Everyone is holy. And we welcome each person and their sanctity into our walls, and they contribute to that conversation. And what we found is that when you create a place of real conversation that separates out terrorism and massacres and hate, but real conversation between people who respect one another and care for each other, then the whole environment becomes a place of wholeness and growth, and where academically